Greetings, fellow travelers. Today we'll examine Tywin Lannister and how he managed to win power and respect in the snake pit that is Westeros. To get a better understanding of the theory behind his methods, we will be applying Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, to his actions as a young man during the Reyne-Tarbeck revolt. Long before he became the feared Hand of the King, Tywin faced a rebellion that would define his ruthless approach to power. Like and subscribe for more videos like this, and let's get into it. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. In the prelude to the Reyne-Tarbeck revolt, House Lannister was plagued by overconfident vassals and merchants that made mockery of their lord, Tywin Lannister. Mostly, they took out loans from the rich Casterly Rock, with no intention of paying them back. However, when Tywin Lannister's son Tywin returned from the War of the Ninepenny Kings, things in the Lannister court took a drastic turn. A war-hardened veteran, Tywin eventually sent ravens to the heads of two of the most egregious offenders, House Tarbeck and House Reyne. In the edicts these ravens carried, Tywin demanded these lords answer for their crimes of defaulting on their debts to Casterly Rock. As a result, both houses rose in rebellion. Tywin, however, had expected this course of events and prepared for them. In fact, he had intended to make clear examples out of all of those who openly mocked their lords of Lannister, and these two vassals had just provided him the perfect opportunity to do so. Because Tywin had intended for this revolt, he already had an army mustered and ready to march. And march they did, straight for the walls of Tarbeck Hall. Due to Tywin's swiftness of action, Lord Waldron Tarbeck had no opportunity to rally his banners, and thus was forced to meet Tywin in the field with only his household knights. As a result, Lord Tarbeck and his men were butchered to a man without quarter, and Tywin marched on to the Tarbeck seat with the heads of Lord Tarbeck and his sons carried upon spears. Stannis Baratheon blatantly violated this rule with his overt and direct assault on King's Landing during the Battle of Blackwater Bay. His rigid adherence to a straightforward, honorable approach made his plans painfully obvious to his enemies. By assembling his fleet and landing his forces on the banks, Stannis telegraphed his intentions to seize the Iron Throne. This approach allowed Tywin Lannister and his son Tyrion ample time to prepare a devastating defense. His attack was predictable because it lacked in subterfuge or misdirection. This is what ultimately led to his defeat when Tywin and the Tyrells were able to outmaneuver him. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. To restore the Lannister name after the tarnished reputation left by his father, Tywin conducted a brutal offensive on the Tarbecks and the Reynes. When Tywin arrived at Tarbeck Hall, he managed to have his siege engines prepared in less than a day. A great boulder flung over the walls of Tarbeck Hall managed to bring down the aged keep. The structure collapsed on both Lady Ellen Reyne and her son, Tion. After this, the gates were thrown open and the castle surrendered, to which Tywin commanded it be put to the torch. For a day and a night, the flames burned until nothing was left of Tarbeck Hall but a gutted shell. This act was not just about defeating an enemy, but about re-establishing a fearsome reputation. To make examples out of these vassals that were so brutal, they would etch in stone the reputation of the Lannisters as a house to be feared. Tywin's father Tytos was quick to forgive and slow to anger. He was soft, and his weak reign over the Westerlands earned him the moniker of the Toothless Lion. The vassals to House Lannister openly mocked their lord and took out loans from Casterly Rock with no intent on paying them back. Once a reputation is in the gutter, it is hard for one's allies, and even one's inferiors, to exhibit respect. Only through Tywin's extreme actions did Casterly Rock win back the fear and regard required to keep their vassals in line. After Tywin stepped in, House Lannister's reputation as ruthless lords made potential foes think twice before attacking or slighting even the lesser members of their line. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Before the fall of Tarbeck Hall, Lady Ellen sent ravens to Castamere asking her brothers for help. Lord Roger Reyne arrived with a host of 2,000 men hoping to surprise the Lannister host. He failed, however, and with half of his men slaughtered, he fled back to the seat of his house, Castamere, though not before taking a crossbow bolt between the shoulders. When the Lannister army turned up at Castamere, Sir Reynard Reyne had taken over command from his injured brother Lord Roger. He ordered his people deep into the mines of Castamere, believing the Lannisters wouldn't be able to fight their way down to get to them. He sent terms for surrender to Tywin. The Reynes would be loyal vassals to House Lannister in return for Tywin's brothers serving within Castamere as hostages. Sir Reynard's terms were ignored, and instead Tywin ordered all entrances to the mines of Castamere sealed. He then had his men dam a nearby stream to divert its waters to the nearest mine entrance. Lannister soldiers posted at the sealed entrances reported they could hear faint screams of panic and anguish, though when dawn came there was nothing but silence. 300 men, women and children had perished in the night, and Tywin commanded for the castle on top of the mines to be put to the torch. Tywin didn't stop with the defeat of the main forces of House Reyne and House Tarbeck. He ordered his men to pursue any survivors and eliminate them completely, ensuring there would be no one left to seek revenge. This total destruction included burning their castles to the ground and killing every member of the houses, including women and children. Tywin could have offered terms after the main forces of House Reyne and House Tarbeck were defeated. He could have easily gotten them back in line with a few threats, some compensation and some hostages, but he specifically chose not to and ordered his men to pursue any survivors and eliminate them completely. Not only did this ensure there would be no one left to seek vengeance, but it also sent a clear message that House Lannister meant business. This total destruction of leveling castles and eradicating entire bloodlines allowed no possibility for such unruly vassals to recover or challenge Lannister power ever again. In conclusion, Tywin Lannister's ruthless handling of the Reyne-Tarbeck revolt perfectly illustrates the power principles laid out in Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. By following these laws with cold precision, Tywin established the fearsome reputation that would define his legacy and House Lannister's dominance in Westeros for years to come. If you found this analysis intriguing and like to see more of Greene's laws applied to Tywin's other actions throughout his life, please let us know in the comments. Also, in the description there will be a link to the 48 Laws of Power for those of you interested in purchasing this excellent book. That was it for today, travelers. Like and subscribe for more videos like this, and may you all fare well.